What's good, everybody? It's your boy Rope. So I'm going to talk about the whole glove controversy, which has been a topic of discussion on YouTube ever since the Wilder fight, especially over the past couple of days. It's really starting to heat up now. Now, this is what I want to focus on, okay? Because a lot of people who are saying that this is a bullshit conspiracy, their main argument is that Tyson Fury will be at a disadvantage. All right, and they're presenting this to everybody as if it's some type of fact. Like, it's a 100% fact that Tyson Fury would be at a disadvantage if he didn't have his hand all the way in the glove. And I'm here to say that that's debatable. That is not a fact. Okay. Now, this is what I think happened. Okay, and I'm going to talk about both fights. In the first fight, he definitely, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, he definitely did not have his hand all the way in the glove. Okay, nobody should even be arguing about that at this point, unless you have never seen another boxing match before in your life, man. That would be the only way I would accept you looking at the way that glove was flapping around and saying that there was nothing wrong with that glove, is if you just had no idea anything about boxing. Okay, but let's talk about this second fight. Okay. Now, in the first fight, he didn't have it on. In the second fight, here's what I believe, okay? And this is just my theory, based off of what I'm seeing, okay? With my own two eyes. It's not based off of what anybody else said. I have been watching Young Pharaoh's videos. I do agree with a lot of what he's saying. I disagree with a lot of what he says, too. However, here's what I believe. And this is something that he didn't even say, okay? I don't think in the second fight, Tyson Fury had his fist in the wrist area. Okay, I believe that he had his fist in the palm area of the glove, which is 100% possible. Okay, you can take your fingers out of the curved part of the glove where your fingers go to make the fist, and you can make a fist in the palm area, which you clearly see Tyson Fury hitting Deontay Wilder with in the fight. Because I think that he knew that it looked suspicious for him in the first fight with the glove flapping around like that. And I didn't see it flapping around as much in the second fight, but there is it just doesn't look right. There's something suspicious still about the lead glove, even in the second fight, okay? I mean, there's a picture, people are saying that he's doing the slapping, right? Which he was doing that too. However, I believe that he was still hitting him with his fist in the palm area of the glove. I think what people are making a mistake saying that it was in the wrist area. I believe it was in the palm. I believe he took his fingers out of the curved area and he was still hitting Deontay Wilder with this fist at the palm area of the glove, because you can clearly see where he throws a jab. Somebody took a still photo of it that's circulating on different videos right now, where you can see his palm in the face of Deontay Wilder. A straight punch. This is not a hook. It's not a slapping punch from the side. This is a straight on punch from the front, and you see the palm, and I believe that his fist is right there in the palm. That's what I believe. I don't have anything to prove that. I'm just basing this off of what I see with my own two eyes. Okay? So the whole him being at a disadvantage shit, that shouldn't even matter anyway. Even if he was at a disadvantage, which he clearly wasn't, because if he was at such a disadvantage, he wouldn't have let it go on for so long in the first fight, and he wouldn't have tried to attempt to do any shady shit in the second fight either. He would have just had his fist in the glove properly, the way that it should be. Okay, that's clearly not what happened. And like I say, his glove wasn't flapping around as much in the second fight as it was the first fight, but there's still some punches that have been slowed down, because that's really the only way to catch all of this. You're not going to catch this in live action. Nobody saw this going on. Even with the flappy glove in the first fight, nobody really knew that was going on until after it was pointed out and slowed down. You know what I'm saying? So I have somebody who I'm arguing with who's telling me, well, how come we didn't notice it? We watched it live. How come we didn't notice it? Yeah, there was a whole bunch of people there. They didn't notice anything. Well, it's because it's a live action fucking fight. You don't know what somebody's looking at during a live action fight. You could be looking at the fighter that you want to win. You could be looking at his opponent. There's different things you can be looking at. You're not necessarily looking at the glove of a fighter during a live action fight. So these things were picked up after the fight. Okay. But that's just my belief, man. I believe that he cheated in both fights. I'm not saying that Tyson Fury couldn't have gone out there and beat Deontay Wilder just by outboxing him. We already know that was possible. Everybody knew that. Okay. But what I'm saying is that doesn't excuse the fact, even if Tyson Fury is the better fighter, even if he's the better boxer, even if he would have won the fight anyway, that still doesn't change the fact that something is up with the gloves. How do we just let that slide? You know, how does, that photo, that video is from the first fight. Okay, well, I mean, how does that really help your argument? Yes, it's not from this fight where Deontay Wilder was stopped, but it shows Tyson Fury's willingness to tamper with his gloves. Okay? You're not going to tell me that he purposely put himself at a disadvantage in the first fight. It makes no sense. Okay? And people are saying that, you know, he bends his wrist backwards to throw a hook. Like, how does that make logical sense to any fighter, whether you're a street fighter, an MMA fighter, a boxer, whatever it is? Who puts their wrist back like that to throw a hook? You could break your fucking wrist like that, doing that. So people want to say he wouldn't hit him with the bare fist because he would have broke his hand, which is also debatable. You know, for you to make that argument, you would have to say anybody who's ever been in a street fight and punched somebody in the face should have a broken hand. Okay? The guy has hand wraps that help protect your hand and all other type of stuff. People are talking like he for sure would have broken his fucking hand if he didn't have it in the padding part of the glove. It's bullshit, okay? And I just disproved that, man. There's been plenty of fights with no hand wraps, just bare knuckles where people's hands weren't broken. So I don't understand where you guys are getting that argument from. You have to be blind or just don't give a shit to say that he wasn't cheating in the first fight, especially. The second fight, if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, that's fine. But the first fight, he was definitely cheating. You can see the glove flapping around. There's no explanation for that, okay? If his hand is all the way in the glove, there's no explanation for that glove to be flapping around like that. I have never seen that in my history of watching boxing. I put gloves on several times in my life. I know how to wrap my own hands, the whole nine, okay? And you're not going to tell me that a glove flaps around like that with your fist fully in there, okay? Anybody trying to make that argument, I just don't understand. And to try to say that Tyson Fury deserves more credit if his hand wasn't in the glove because he fought at a disadvantage. There's no way you could be a boxing fan with that type of logic. You want to give a guy even more credit for trying to cheat. That makes no logical sense. Okay? But anyway, that's my opinion on it. I'm about this motherfucker. Peace.